And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As afternoon turns into evening, we are back on the historic grounds here of England Air Park, where it's time for baseball at the Burn. We are at Merrill Blackburn Field on the grounds of England Air Park. I am Doug Gann alongside of Chuck Perkins. We have reached our spot here in the outfield where we'll sit, and this is going to be a dandy. Grace Christian comes in ranked number 2 in the Division 5 select standings, tied for first, and no losses in district with their cross-field rivals, the Avoyelles Charter Vikings. They come in ranked number 3, also undefeated and tied for first atop those District 5B standings. This is going to be quite a matchup. First of a home and home, of course, as they do in district. The coaches are getting ready to meet there with the umpires at home plate. But, Chuck, we've talked a lot about it, tried to stay away from it for a couple of weeks until it got here, but we're about 5 minutes away from first pitch. So what do you think?
Buddy, I'm telling you what, I'm looking forward to this Warrior Vikings matchup. Like you said, they're right there at home plate. Skies are beautiful out here. Got a nice northeast wind blowing in straight from center field, going right across second, pitcher's mound, all the way up to the bat. So I'm not sure how many are going to be batted out as far as hit out of the park today. But, you know, that cooler air that's supposed to be falling down, it's about 70 degrees right now, and it's supposed to be falling down to around 65 before we finish this game, Doug.
You know, it probably is as nice as we have seen it out here before, just a slight breeze. I mean, that was the biggest problem Saturday morning when we were out at Tioga. It was just a still type of a sunny morning. But, my goodness, we are here. We have talked about this one again. They'll play here today, and they'll make the trip up Highway 1 to Avoyelles Charter on Thursday night. That'll be a game that will be much anticipated, especially depending on the outcome of this one. Both of these teams sit atop, and the winner of this series we expect will be the district champion. So these two games, not taking anything away from anyone else, should be for the district championship. Chuck, we're going to turn it over now as they will get things going down on the field. You can see the difference if you look out at the flag. Well, the winds kind of died down. The flag for the first time this year was blowing in directly. But let's turn it over for the starting of this, the pregame announcements, the national anthem, and we'll get ready for first pitch here. It is Avoyelles Charter. It is Grace Christian, Division 5 Select Baseball, number 2, number 3 teams set to do battle when we come back. And we are back. Appreciate the folks here getting that national anthem up and going. We'll have the lineup for the Grace Christian Warriors. Have not received anything for Avoyles Charter just yet. Number 42, Carson Courtright, leads off, and he plays center field. Third baseman who's been as hot as anyone. He was a Go Preps Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago. Number 32, Luke Johnson. Batting third, number 10, Canyon Wright. He plays first base. Seth Cook on the hill. He bats fourth and wears number 25 behind the dish, who was my co-host during the Burger Fest the other night, Sunday night. Cody Davis bats fifth, wears number 35. Maddox Adelies will bat sixth. Number 9 plays shortstop. Number 11, Cooper Courtright, is tonight's designated hitter. He will bat 11th. He will bat for number 7, Aiden Cook, who is out in left field. Braden Wells gets the start in right field and wears number 8. And second baseman Jack Powell wears number 3. So resetting the defense for the Warriors. In left field, Aiden Cook. Center field, Carson Courtright. In right field is Braden Wells. Third base, Luke Johnson. Shortstop, Maddox Adelies. Second base is Jack Powell. First base, Canyon Wright. In the battery tonight for the Warriors, behind the dish, Cody Davis and Seth Cook will toe the rubber for the Warriors. We do have the lineup that just came in from Nicole. I appreciate that. Tanner Dupuy will lead things off for Avoyles Charter. Try to get that into our book here. The Vikings come into this ready to do battle. Tanner Dupuy plays shortstop, batting second, number 6, Carson Lemoyne. And I'm going to write as I talk on these. He is the designated hitter tonight. Batting third and playing third is Mason Bordelon. He wears number 11. And we may end up just announcing this as we go along, but I'll get to as many as I can. Number 22, Bennett Coco. He will bat cleanup and be behind the dish tonight for Avoyles Charter. Batting fifth is J.P. Bordelon and wears number 15. Chuck and we are ready to go, so I'll give the announcement for the others when we come along. J.P. Bordelon plays in right field. First pitch, 6:02.
In for a strike.
And it is in there for strike one to Dupuy. That one, same spot, same result. 0-2 quickly to Dupuy. Again, I am Doug Gann alongside of Chuck Perkins. We are 446 Sports, bringing you a lot of high school sports throughout the year. Misses up high. Been a steady diet of fastballs from Seth to get things going.
Had a lot of district games right around this point in time determined, or district championships determined by games. Softball had some last night, and they have some tonight.
Indeed.
They're finishing up their district.
High fastball evens the count. That one smashed into the visitors' dugout, and they're all ducking for cover there. Working on finishing up these starting lineups, so you'll be able to have it for Avoyles Charter. Seth, after going 0-2, 3 straight balls sandwiched around one foul ball, and the count is full at 3-2. Here's the delivery. That one swung on, and that's going to be the game's first base hit. Good piece of hitting by Tanner Dupuy. And he is on at first base, getting much accolades from his teammates over there. And good fastballs coming from Seth there, and was unable to finish him off, and that's a leadoff base hit for Tanner Dupuy. Carson Lemoyne, the designated hitter, stands in ready to bat second. Quick throw over to first. I think more just an attention getter than anything else.
Speedy little dude there on first.
Well, that's why he's batting leadoff.
You're right.
After this pitch, that one is taken up high. We'll redo the lineup. We stopped with J.P. Bordelon, who was batting fifth. Batting sixth, Wesley LaCour. He plays left field and wears 14. Batting seventh, 23, Jackson Amond, getting ready for Seth's next pitch. It's 1-0 to the batter. Another quick throw. That one a little bit closer, but not quite there. Diving back in was Dupuy. Katamayu bats eighth and is on the hill. Heard a lot about that young man throwing the baseball. And batting ninth, wearing number 1, he is the second baseman for the Vikings, B.B. Ragusa. playing center field. He's the one that was DH'd for by this Carson Lemoyne that has seen one pitch. There's been more throws over to first than there have been to the plate. That one up high, and faking the snap throw, but it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Fakes me on it as well.
I believe it's 2-0, Chuck.
Yeah,
Is that?
that's what I've got. They just
Okay.
put it up there.
There's the delivery. That's right down Main Street for the strike. 2 balls and a strike to Lemoyne, the designated hitter for the Vikings. So there you have the lineup, and we'll go through that again as we work through tonight's contest. So glad that you've joined us. Quick throw, diving back in is Dupuy. A lot of new folks that are joining us tonight. If you're watching over on Facebook, don't forget you always have the opportunity to watch this thing. Swing and a miss. Quick throw down, but it's high. Adelaide is going to save it, but still going to credit the stolen base to Dupuy on the swinging strike. And I do believe a ball that was on the money would have more than likely got Dupuy. And Dupuy is heading back to first. Not sure why they sent him back.
I did not catch that one at all, but the batter's out.
If the batter's out, then it's interference is what.
3-1 is the count. Well, that's a new batter up there.
Yeah, they've got this is Mason Bordelon. He is the third baseman that stands in there and going back to first. We'll get some clarification on that. I was watching the steal.
I was working on keeping the camera up.
And we're going to say that he was out on interference, so he goes back to first, and that is a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Bordelon, who is the third baseman. And those at home that are watching, we don't have an explanation for it, but we'll try to get that one to you beforehand. That one drops in front of Cody. He comes up not throwing. 2 balls and a strike, and now Tanner Dupuy, the speedy leadoff hitter, is down at second base for the Vikings. Powell and Adelise were there covering. The only thing that I can think of is that it was an interference called on the batter somehow on the throw, that he leaned in over the middle. But I don't want to speculate. That one swung on and missed there. Seth with a good pitch in there to Bordelon.
He was swinging for the fences on that one.
Indeed, and all 15 to 18 miles an hour that are blowing in.
Yes.
Seth stares in. He's facing Bordelon here. Gets the side from Davis. They changed it up a little bit with Dupuy looking in. You got a runner at second, so you go to that second set of signs. Here's the delivery. Just misses on the outer half, and it fills up the count once again. 1 out in this one. That was the batter Lemoyne. And now Bordelon represents the 3-hole for this Avoyles Charter team. Here's the delivery. That one's up and in, and that's going to be a base on ball issued to Bordelon, and that'll bring the slugger for this Avoyles Charter team, Bennett Coco, who spends his time behind the dish for this Avoyles Charter team, standing in there ready to go to work with runners at first and second. Wind blowing in on this one, we had stated. You saw that on the flag during the warm-ups there in the national anthem. That one misses away. Bennett Coco looking at a ball at a 1-0 count from Cook now. Getting off the base and a lot of room is Dupuy. That one misses down low. And quickly, Coach Brown will go out there and talk to him. He waves off the rest of the infielder, and this is one of those, he goes in there and we talked to him about this, Chuck. When you go out there and you run out there, you don't get the defense involved in it. They're just talking about a quick little mechanics, a tweak on it, if you will, is all they're doing.
Yep, something he may have noticed and trying to make that little correction. Might be just a slight step difference, you know.
Indeed. Again, Bennett Coco, the Viking catcher, with a 2-0 count. You got to be careful about grooving a fastball to this young man, too. 1 down, top of the first we go. That one misses up high, and it's 3-0. You know, the first two that Seth threw all the way back to Dupuy, who ended up getting on base. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Coco and loads him up for left fielder, right fielder, J.P. Bordelon. Courtesy runner for the catcher has come in, and we'll get a number on him. Looks like
10, maybe?
Looks like number 10 to me as well, Chuck. If that's 10, that's Jonah Shotland that is in there running for the catcher, Coco.
Does look like 10.
Again, Cook misses up high. So we're going to say Shotland is there as a courtesy runner for Coco. And again, first inning inconsistency has plagued Cook here. Throws that good curveball in there, and that one is fouled back over the top, and it brings an end to what was 5 straight out of the zone thrown by the young junior Cook. Seth stands in there, back to the windup, rocks and fires this one. Misses, and there's going to be a runner coming home, and he's going to score. That was just a tremendous read by Tanner Dupuy. Comes in on that pass ball and steals home and gets the first run of the game, and that is just pure speed because the runners at first and second, Chuck, didn't move.
And I will say Seth Cook got there at home plate when the runner had crossed. He turned real quick around to make sure no other runners advanced.
I mean, Dupuy just flew down the line.
I said speedy leadoff, like he said.
Indeed. Here's the delivery. Again out of the zone, up and away.
3-0 count.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Oh, 1, that's right. Foul out.
Seth in danger of walking his 3rd straight hitter. The only out that's been recorded has been the one on interference. The other was a base hit who came around to score in Dupuy, and that one is up high. And Seth walks the bases loaded. Would have walked in the run, but Wesley LaCour now stands in there. He is the Viking left fielder. Where's number 14? And again, sounding like a broken record. If you're going to get to Cook, you got to do it here in the first because he tends to settle down after that, but just has to establish the zone. Doesn't do it on that one, up high, ball 1. 6th batter to come to the plate. One has come around and scored. That was the only base hit, Tanner Dupuy.
Second time they've had loaded bases now.
Inside ball 2, and look, the strike zone is going to shrink. The more and more you stay out of the strike zone, the more that you don't get the corners. Seth working very quickly. That one fouled straight back. A 2-0 hack at a fastball down the middle from LaCour, and he was right on it, just fouled it back.
Really quick hands coming around with that bat, so could be dangerous shot out here in the outfield.
Quickly, Cook delivers, and that one is fouled straight back as well. But watch how quick Cook gets in there and gets set, and right on that fastball is LaCour. This is one of those times, if you think you can come over the top with a curveball, it'd be a good time to do it, but don't miss inside. 2-2 count.
Feel like that ball's coming out here to right field, Doug.
Here's the delivery, and it's a curveball, strike 3. Just took something off of that one. First strikeout of the night for Cook, and Jackson Amon will stand in. He is the Vikings' first baseman. Well, if you can roll a ground out here, you jump out of this inning with just the 1 run scored.
Would be nice.
Cook now taking his time on there, sets back and delivers this one. That one is ground over to Luke at third. He's going to gather it up and throw to first in time, and that'll do it. He rolls the ground ball like we asked for. 1 run, though, does come across. 1 hit for the Vikings. They leave the bases loaded. Due up for the Warriors in the bottom of the first. It's a familiar trio to start things off. It's Courtright, it's Johnson, and it's Canyon Wright when we come back.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier. Transactions are getting safer. and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Connor Mayu finishing up his warm-up pitches as we get ready to go. I'd like to welcome all of those folks from Avoyelles Charter that are watching this game and around the country, wherever you may be, that you've tuned in to watch your Vikings play. Doug Gann alongside of Chuck Perkins on 446 Sports. We see a lot of shares being made throughout the parish down there, and so welcome aboard to all of you that are watching this. Again, the view, the production of it over on our YouTube channel at 446 Sports. If you go over there and check it out, there's not a lot of the condensing that goes on there, and we welcome you to come over there. We need a couple of more subscribers. We are stuck at 666 subscribers. Got to get off of that. Carson Courtwright set to do battle with Mayu. Mayu's first delivery misses up high, ball one. So we need somebody to go on there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's at 446 Sports. Here's the delivery. Again, misses up high to Courtwright, the leadoff hitter, needing to equal what Tanner Dupuy did for this Viking team as he led off with a base hit, came around and scored the game's first run. Here's the 2-0. That one scrapes the attic and hits the top of the strike zone for strike one. 2 balls and a strike. Dupuy, the righty, delivers. That one is ground up to second base where it's going to be handled. Thrown over to first in time for the game's first out. Score that one 4-3 on the putout, and Luke Johnson will stand in there from the left side. Luke's just been on a tear. Again, told you a couple of weeks ago he was the Go Preps Player of the Week. At one point he was 18 of 23, had homered in 6 straight games. Going to need a big outing from all of the Warriors tonight, as this Avoyelles Charter team is tough as nails. Here's the delivery. Mayu's first one is in there for the strike.
As ugly as that number 666 is, Doug, it's a beautiful number on our way to 1,000, but it's an ugly number that otherwise not necessarily superstitious, but I just don't like that number.
Ground foul indeed. We don't. So we'll get somebody to hop over there and subscribe. While you're over there, ring that notification bell. Yes. You'll be notified every time we go live. You can watch it on your smart TV. Just find YouTube and pop it up there. Watch it on the big screen. Get you some popcorn and settle in with us. The 0-2 to Johnson is delivered. And not really certain where it missed, but it's outside is what the call is. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But again, I can't see from out here, so there you have it.
Yeah, he's got his hands cupped over his eyes trying to shade the sun out, which is beaming in on us.
That and my eyes are 53 years old. That one up high, we do know that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I was giving you a little credit.
Yeah, well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down to Johnson. That one is smashed, but right at the third baseman.
Wow.
Wonderful work over there by Mason Bordelon, who goes in and gloves that line smash. I mean, that's an atom ball. Why is it an atom ball, Chuck?
Because it was right at him.
Because it was right at him. There you go. So those of you just joining along with us, I've been explaining things to Chuck throughout the season. It's Canyon Wright. He is the sophomore first baseman that stands in there. Big hello out to Thailand, as we've got someone watching from Thailand tonight. So you got to love that. Swung on and missed from Canyon, and Connor Mayu just dealing here in the first. 0-2. Strike away from a perfect inning for Mayu. Here's the 0-2 delivery to Canyon. That one misses outside, and nobody thought that had missed outside on the right side of the infield. Shortstop and third baseman were almost in the dugout. Again, that strike zone consistently tight. That one misses and gets back to the wall. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Canyon just looking for one that he can put a charge in. We've got our shades on. We're waiting. That goes back to the first of the year when Canyon gave us a pair of his shades from last season. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 looking. It's right in there. And 3 up, 3 down. 1 strikeout, a ground out and a line out, and nothing doing for the Warriors after 1 complete. Avoyelles Charter leads this one 1-0. Due up for the Vikings, Mayu, Ragusa, and Dupuy when we come back.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Make your burger your style with delicious, hand-pressed, never-frozen AAA Angus beef and tons of fresh, tasty toppings. Fat Burger. Great taste sounds good, doesn't it?
Now.
And we are back. You see the fans out there down the left field line taking this one in, seeing a good one. It's 1-0 Avoyelles Charter as Seth back on the hill delivers this one in there. Strike 1 to Connor Mayu, his counterpart on the mound. Very impressed with Mayu. He just went up there and threw strikes. That one lifted high, but shortstop. Johnson now calls everybody off, and Luke has it. You'll officially you'll score that, a fly out to third, but he was well entrenched in his former shortstop position where he gets that one but calls everybody off, and that's 2 pitches for 1 out. And B.B. Ragusa, the second baseman, had a put out in the first inning. That one ground over now. Adelise has it. Quickly over to first, and boys and girls, we're playing baseball now. That is 6-3 on the put out, and that'll put things back up top to Tanner Dupuy. Had a base hit, scored a run, and a stolen base back in the first. This is that second inning settling that we've saw in 3 pitches and 2 outs.
Letting that defense get a little acknowledgement.
There's a nasty little curveball that was there, and that's strike 1 to Dupuy. Dupuy hit the fastball well in his first at bat, so Cook going away from that the second trip through.
That defense being strong like that will build that confidence of that pitcher real quick, too.
Indeed it will, and there's a confident fastball right down the middle. Avoyelles Charter sent 7 to the plate back in the first inning. The 2 up, 2 down here in the third, but Dupuy has the game's only base hit. That one bounces down low, trying to get him to chase, and did not do it. Look, Chuck, we talked about the speed that we saw out of Dupuy. He had the stolen base early, called back for the interference, but made his way all the way around. That one lifted out here, and Jack Powell is drifting back at second base, and he drops it. Going to reach on an error to the second baseman, does Dupuy, so he's been on base both times. And that's the one you needed to get out of it, and you give life. And now here comes up the designated hitter, Lemoyne, who was out on the interference back in the first. But watch for Dupuy to just quickly. See, what I'm liking about Dupuy, Chuck, is, and we've talked about it earlier in the year, he gets enough of a lead that he has to dive back in. You don't want to just ease your way back in. You're not getting enough lead. Takes a good secondary lead and hops off the base a couple. Everything that he's doing on the bases, he's doing it correctly. Looking back in is Cook. Now the delivery. That one smoked. And watch Dupuy running. It's gathered up by Cook, but Dupuy's on his way to third, and he's going to be in there easily. And that is a base hit for Lemoyne, and that gets, boy, that error could prove costly here. Lemoyne gets the base hit, and that'll bring Mason Bordelon up now. Boy, you can't give a good team 4 outs in an inning.
Yeah, if you loosen your grip just a little bit on that hug, they're going to take a breath and exploit that.
Mason Bordelon now, the third baseman, stands in there. Runners at first and third. Tanner Dupuy over at third. Lemoyne at first had a good, solid smash single up the first. Bordelon walked back in that first inning where Dupuy scored. Looking for the old third to first is Cook, and nothing doing. Any of the runs after this would be unearned, but not of significance to the Warriors if or of Vols Charter. You don't care if they're earned or unearned at this point. That one up high.
They still count the same on the scoreboard, unfortunately.
Absolutely they do. Yeah, Vols will take 10 unearned runs after this, I can tell you. The Vols Charter stands in there in their gray and teal uniform colors that we've seen throughout the years here. That one right down the middle for the strike.
1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike. They're a little delayed on the scoreboard up there, and the official, the home plate umpire, trying to let them know what the count is. Cook stands in ready to go again. Runners at first and third. There's a curveball out in front of it and lifted high. Coming up and making that play, and that looked like it was a struggle out in right field, but Braden Wells takes over, calls everybody off, and that is going to do it. So the Warriors, around an error and a base hit, they leave 2 runners on, but Vols Charter fails to score. Due up in the bottom of the second for the Warriors, Seth Cook, Cody Davis, and Maddox Adelise when we come back.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
There was a huge assembly, and then he came to the gym and he announced it.
I would like to honor a warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes.
Got there, and then we went to Santa Monica Pier, and the water felt good, and I found a bunch of cool rocks. And then when we went to The Voice the next day, I got to meet Adam Levine after the show, which was amazing.
I'm Bob Giles, and I believe every business should give back. Join me at gilesgivesback.com.
Connor Mayu back on the hill, ready for his second inning of the work. Seth Cook stands in there and takes that one in there, strike 1. Again, whoever jumped up and went over and subscribed on our YouTube channel, a big thank you to.
Thank you.
Got us off of that number. We're now at 667. That one in there for a strike as well. We don't like that number either, so I need 332 people to go over and subscribe tonight.
That would be beautiful.
That would be great. We're going to continue. That helps us. And again,
Ouch.
that one That one misses after the first 2 were strikes, and that's a tough one to take at 0-2.
And I say ouch because the catcher came up wanting to throw to third. I mean, he thought that was in there, but ouch for him.
Here's a delivery from Mayu. Swung on and missed, and now this one back down to third base as they throw it around. Seth Cook, strikeout victim to start things off, and Cody Davis will stand there. Had a good time Sunday night on the show with Cody Davis as he sits in for Coach Brown while Brown and Coach Campbell were doing the Triple XL Burger Challenge from Fat Burger. That is our hometown sponsor. That one misses inside for our Sunday night coaches show. Go back and check that out. That was just good TV.
I'm sitting there watching Coach Brown as the game has been going on and between innings and seeing how he's moving around after all that.
Yeah, look,
beef.
that was 1.5 pounds of hamburger over there. If you've not been to Fat Burger, they're on Versailles Boulevard between Coliseum and Jackson Street. That's the road that cuts that off. Go by there and check them out. Squaring around to bunt is Cody. He pulls that one back, and it's in there. Strike 1, 2 balls and a strike to Davis.
You know, and I remember one of those, I think it was a nursery rhyme, but that How Now Brown Cow.
I don't think so, Chuck. I don't know. Here's the delivery. That one turned and smashed, but foul. And hits the bullpen area, but I mean, Cody got around on that fastball as well as anything. Let it travel on you just a little bit, and that one's got a chance. The Warrior backstop standing there with 2-2. Mayu has been solid. Has struck out a couple in a row. Here's the delivery. That one misses up high. Again, 4 straight retired to start the game for Mayu as he faces the Warrior catcher, Cody Davis. And that one up high, and that'll get a runner on base for the Warriors. And Maddox Adderley is a shortstop for Grace Christian. The 6-hole hitter stands in, ready to go to work. Big shout out to my man, Coach Ben McLaughlin. He's watching us tonight, as always.
Coach Ben.
Glad to see him. If he can't be out here, he's going to watch. So that was good to see. It asked me earlier today if we had the game back on the 18th, and that was that doubleheader. So it's good to see that the umpires and officials want to keep an eye on what they're doing, and we appreciate them using this. There's a throw back over to first. That's not a snap throw. That I can tell you is not the move that Mayu has. That's just one of those saying, hey, got my eye on you, Cody. Standing in is Maddox Adderley's. Warriors shortstop takes that one up high, ball 1. You know, where I do appreciate this umpire that's behind the plate, because he is calling the strike zone like the strike zone's supposed to be called. Yes. The bad thing is we don't normally get that.
He's doing a great job, and he's vocal and quick on his response, too.
Adderley squaring around now, pulls back and takes that one up high, 2 balls, no strikes.
He's loud with the ball and the strike, so, I mean, that's helpful for us.
Adderley's 2-0. Expect him to perhaps square around again, and it seems like Mayu has had trouble with that bat in the zone. Has no trouble throwing that one through it, though. 2 balls and a strike. Cooper Courtwright on deck. Braden Wells and Jack Powell to follow. 1 out here in the bottom of the second, 1-0. You see that on our Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. And again, big thanks out to Valex Federal Credit Union, who they are our all-year sponsor, our title sponsor. Everything that 446 Sports does is brought to you by Valex Federal Credit Union.
Perhaps if you'd like to join us, by golly, come on with it. We'd love to have you as part of our team.
Send us an email at info@446sports. That one is swung on and missed. Evens account at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A big welcome out to England Air Park Authority, and AEX. That's Alexandria International Airport. If you flew AEX, you'd almost be home. Fly AEX.org. Off and going. This is going to be a strike him out, throw him out. No, the ball comes loose. So the strikeout there at the plate on Davis, and that's correct on Adderley's. Davis had walked. He's down at second. Give him credit for the stolen base, and as he advances into scoring position, but that's 3 strikeouts on 3 outs. and Cooper Courtright stands in there. Big hole between first and second as they hold him on. But that was as good a throw as you'll find from Bennett Coco. We put it right on the money, but just comes away. And now a good job of flashing and getting back into the second base position is Ragusa, and that looked like that ball came out. It was right on the money. Had Cody dead to rights. And that one ground to second base. Going to be handled there by Ragusa, and he makes up for it. And disregard my running around as that wasp that came right up over the outfield wall. But Cooper Courtright grounds out. Second baseman makes that play, does Ragusa, for the third out of the inning. So no hit still. The walk to Davis. He has a stolen base, but he's stranded on second, so nothing doing for the Warriors in the bottom of the second. After 2 complete, score remains of Vols Charter 1, Grace Christian 0. We'll be right back.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Seth Cook gets ready for his third inning of work. Bennett Coco stands in there and takes strike 1. Coco, the catcher. And that one is lifted out to where we're at, coming up under it and gathering it on the 1 hop. Is Wells out in right field, unable to get to it, and Coco is on for the second time. He walked earlier and expects Shotland to come in and run for him, and he does.
His angle of approach out here from right field to go towards that ball where it was hit, he was looking straight at the sun, too.
Yeah, that's what happens when that sun comes down this way, but they're doing good work at getting around on and putting the ball in play. There's a quick throw over to first. J.P. Bordelon, the right fielder, he walked. He was in that string of 3 straight walks that really led to that first run, and the one and only run for Vols Charter, game's only run. That one misses way high. Cody does a great job to get up and get that one, and it is 2 balls, no strikes. Or correction, 1 ball, no strike. The first one went to first.
Yes.
J.P. Bordelon, the right fielder.
Cody Davis sat back there working on his leapfrog game.
Mm-hmm. The junior catcher has just been solid throughout. One misses down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, past this batter, Seth went on a run of 4 straight that he had got out. So that one lifted up high. Canyon coming to get it at first base, and he's going to squeeze that one in foul territory. and get the first out. That one really stayed up for a while, but it's going to be the inning's first out. One down, top of the third, 1-0 of Oles Charter. And that was a fly out to first for Bordelon. Wesley LaCour, strikeout victim back in the first, stands in against Cook. It was a strikeout and then those 2 ground balls. Boy, stepping out when Cook was just about in his motion. That's a difficult time for a pitcher to stop his windup and go.
Really is.
Or his stretch for that matter. Here's a delivery. Check swing, doesn't matter. The strike is there to LaCour. Again, a big shout out to all our folks from Avoyelles Parish that have tuned in to watch this one, or from wherever you're at in the world that have tuned in to watch your Avoyelles Charter Vikings on this big district matchup with the Grace Christian Warriors.
Did I tell you my dad was born and raised in Avoyelles Parish?
You did not.
He is from the metropolitan area of Vic, Louisiana.
Wow. How about that?
My brother still lives down there.
Curveball from Cook is nasty, and it's the second strikeout on that curveball to LaCour. 2 outs now, and Jackson Amon stands in there. Look, I'm telling you, his name could, in fact, be Amond, A-Y-M-O-N-D, but I'm going with Amon because he's down there. I'd rather miss it that way than the other way.
Yes, because they'd Yankee you up big time.
Yeah, they would. I got to believe that's in there for a strike. If you're going to miss and use a pronunciation from the parish, it's okay rather than missing the other way.
I agree.
There's a delivery from Cook up high. Doesn't get that curveball to bend, and it's 1-1 strike to the Viking first baseman, Amon. Swung and fouled right off the instep. Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah, that one hurts. Amon grounded out to Luke Johnson for the final out of the first inning. See if he can do it for the final out of the third. Off and running, and that one is lifted high. Good piece of hitting running. With 2 strikes, Amon was swinging anyway, but that's a great job of protecting and putting a bat on the ball as Coco was off and running, or Shotland for that matter, who is in there as the courtesy runner for the catcher. Seth stares into Davis, gets the sign, will come set and deliver. And again, fouled off and back over the light pole and into the parking lot that nobody can park into because they got it roped off.
It doesn't stop the glass from breaking.
Residents only. No, that's correct. Out here at beautiful England Air Park. What a place to be. That curveball is in there, the nasty strike. Looking, back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down following that base hit by Coco. And nothing doing. 1 man left on for Avoyelles Charter in the top of the third. Going to the bottom of the third, the Warriors have Wells, Powell, and Carson Courtright due up when we come back.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Connor Mayu finishing up his warm-up pitches. He has been solid, has not allowed a hit through the first 2 innings, has faced just 1 over the minimum, and that was a walk from Cody Davis. Cody had a stolen base, but in all accounts was dead to rights on that throw. And 3 strikeouts tonight from Mayu through the first 2 innings. Looking solid. Braden Wells stands in there, had that catch a little bit earlier. Go back to that first inning, though, Chuck, that run that got across. Dupuy just really got after it. Warriors now looking to get this thing knotted up. This goes a long way in this district championship race. That one is lifted to third where it's going to be caught. Third baseman stands in there. That's Mason Bordelon who brings that one in at third, and a line out to third. And Braden Wells is retired on 1 pitch. Jack Powell, second baseman for the Warriors, stands in there ready to go.
You know, I haven't seen the sharp hitting that we normally see out of the Warriors as of yet.
No, I agree with you. The line out by Johnson that he had that went over that the third baseman caught was the one that was right on the screws. But you're right. Nobody around has had a good at bat at it. That one misses low. Actually, they're going to call it a strike. 0-2 as the Clouds start to make their way in, and that gives the Sun a little bit of a relief, or me relief from the Sun, rather. Swung through that one and missed, did Powell, and he's down on 3 straight strikes for the second out. Back to the top of the order, the Warriors center fielder Carson Courtwright. Man, Mayu just really throws the ball well.
And just as soon as you talked about those Clouds, that little cool breeze came in, and you could tell the difference in temperature as a good drop.
Oh, it dropped 15 degrees when it got behind there and that breeze came in. Courtwright takes that one outside for ball 1. We play bottom of the third here, rapidly moving game, just 47 minutes into this. Ground up the middle, but back to Mayu, and he's got it. He gloves it, tosses and flips it over to first base, and adamantly throws that one into the ground, does the first baseman Amon, and this Avoyelles Charter team is pumped up. They've held the Warriors scoreless through 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Warriors. Due up in the top of the 4th, Mayu, Ragusa, and Dupuy when we come back.
Make your burger your style with delicious, hand-pressed, never-frozen AAA Angus beef and tons of fresh, tasty toppings. Fat Burger. Great taste sounds good, doesn't it?
And we are back heading to the top of the 4th. Those of you that are watching on our YouTube page, welcome over there. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe on there. Send us a comment of where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. That helps more people see our broadcast. Standing in for the second time today is Connor Mayu. He is the pitcher who has just been as solid, and he looks to turn around and bunt. And I don't know that I would have my pitcher throwing the ball that well, turn around and bunt like that. But goodness gracious, that ball got in on him quick.
It did. And look over there, Doug, if you see on the behind the fence, there's the faithful Warriors over there stuffing it out there with those blankets.
That's right.
All bundled up there like little bundles of joy.
That one missed outside, I believe. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Oh, you're right.
Here comes the delivery. That one from Cook misses low. Cook now 2-1, ground on to Adelise. He fields it, bobbles it, now throws to first, and in time, good stretch by Kenyon, and he gets it right back to Adelise on that one. Bobbled it, but held in there and got the out on Mayu. For the game, for the first out of the 4th, BB Ragusa, second baseman, ground out to Adelise.
Good recovery by Adelise over there, too.
That one misses up high.
Pick it up and turn it around.
And, well, we complained about that sun a little bit, but it went down, and it got chilly for the end of March.
I brought my hoodie this time.
That one fouled back. I don't know where my hoodie is. Somewhere. Of course it's somewhere. Orioles will be back on the road Thursday. They make the return trip to Avoyelles Charter, as that one misses up high. And then they'll be back here Friday night to play, Chuck, Westlake.
Westlake
is who they. That one lifted out to where we're at. Wells is coming, but going back is Powell, and he recovers for them from that earlier miscue, and officially score that fly out to second base. But it was deep second, shallow right field, but it counts as the inning's second out, and that'll flip things back to the top, and Tanner Dupuy quickly over to Powell. He's going to have to come up and play that one because Dupuy gets down the line, makes that play. Dupuy retired for the first time, and that's a good inning for Seth. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for the Vikings. 1, 2, 3, they go. We'll be back for the bottom of the fourth. Due up for the Warriors, Luke Johnson, Canyon Wright, and Seth Cook when we come back.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Hot.
Back to the bottom of the fourth we go. Warriors set to send Luke Johnson, Canyon Wright, and Seth Cook, 3, 4, and 5 hitters up for the Warriors. Just the second time they've hit, and what was it? Last time we saw them, they each, only hit a couple of times in the first inning. Luke sends that one back over the third baseman, says this time inside outs that one, and he gets the Warriors' first base hit of the game. Good piece of hitting by Luke Johnson. And it seems like you say that everywhere you go, and that'll send the sophomore Grand Canyon to the plate. How about that, Canyon Wright, dude? I got it in my mind from a year ago when,
when he
Canyon.
passed one.
Yeah, no kidding. Canyon stands in there ready to go, and Mayu, we'll see how he responds after giving up his first base hit. But it was to Luke Johnson, so, I mean, there's that. Canyon puts a charge in this one. Just going to drop into the glove of the second baseman as he drifts back. Not really a lot on that one from Canyon.
Just hasn't found a smooth swing on it yet.
Right, I agree with that. The swing that was there.
Give them the Warriors the first out for this inning. Diving back in is LJ there after a throwback from the pitcher.
Mayu responds and gets Canyon. Now he faces Seth Cook. Cook was a strikeout victim in the second as he led things off there. Cook had the grand slam a couple of games ago, has been hitting the ball well. That one throw comes in and bounces around.
Rolls over Luke's back there.
Lights are on here as those clouds did make their way in, and that's darkened things just a little bit. One down, runner at first is LJ, and that one kind of a defensive swing as he pulls that one through the strike zone, and it's 0-1. So we told you the Warriors will be back Friday. My man Scott Mills will be back with you. Hopefully it's a little warmer for him than it was the last time he was out here doing a game.
It's got the makings of it getting cold again.
Remind him of the post-game interview as well.
Yes.
Strike 2, swinging on that one. I've got to remind him, I had him filling in for me on Thursday and Friday, but we don't have a game on Thursday that's here that we cover.
We do not.
The game will be on the road at Charter. That one misses down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I get the feeling they do that. You see that catcher shift way over there, and he throws it on that outside corner. I get the feeling they do that a lot.
Yeah, not necessarily a pitch
too.
out, but just getting something on the outer half where he can come up throwing. Cook puts a line into that one. Shortstop's got it. On to second. Over to first in time, and that's an inning-ending double play that erases Johnson and Cook. Score that one 6-4-3, and that gets the Warriors out of it. Going to the top of the 5th, rapidly moving, will be Lamorne, Bordelon, and Coco when we come back.
There was a huge assembly, and then he came to the gym, and he announced it.
I would like to honor a Warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes!
I got there, and then we went to Santa Monica Pier, and the water felt good, and I found a bunch of cool rocks, and then we went to The Voice the next day. I got to meet Adam Levine after the show, which was amazing.
I'm Bob Giles, and I believe every business should give back. Join me at gilesgivesback.com.
And we are back. Cook getting ready for his 5th inning of work. Both of these pitchers have been solid. Of course, Connor Mayu on the other side and Seth Cook on this side got into a little bit of trouble in that first inning, had a base hit. The interference got the out and then walked 3 in a row. Would have walked in the run, but one scored on the wild pitch earlier before he settled down and has retired 6 in a row, has Cook. Back to Carson Lemoyne, the designated hitter. He was the one that was out on the interference and has one of the 3 base hits tonight for this Avoyelles Charter team.
Nice throw down there by Cody Davis in the warm-up. On the spot there on second.
Look, if you don't think these two teams are evenly matched, that one run in the first inning that was manufactured by Dupuis and the Vikings has carried them through here. That one is lifted up and out of play, foul off to the right side.
Got a nice group of Viking supporters over there as well.
How quickly Cook is working. Throws that curveball, and it's ground over to the other dugout, back to where the Warrior coaches are standing. So the fastball he fouled off behind him, the curveball he fouls off in front of him, and here comes Cook with the 0-2. Curveball ripped past a diving Luke Johnson and out to Aiden Cook, who gloves it in left field, but that's a base hit. That is 2 hits on the night for the Vikings designated hitter Carson Lemoyne, and that breaks a streak of 6 straight that had been retired for Cook. Next up, Mason Bordelon, the third baseman. He's reached on a walk and flew out to Wells in right. Swings through that one, strike 1. Our fans all over that are watching, we saw a lot of them that watch us from all over the country follow their Warriors throughout the season, their home games. Glad to have you guys checking in with us from New York and Tennessee and all over the place. Quick throwback, but nothing doing.
Quick move, but his throwback, I don't think he was really after him. He just kind of made a quick feet move there.
Well, and the difference between Lemoyne that's on base and Dupuis earlier, Lemoyne just not getting a big lead at all off of the base.
No, he's really not. We'll get that one here in a minute.
That one missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bordelon, who probably saved a Luke Johnson base hit back in the first on that line drive straight to him. He's walked on the day and flew out to right, we said, and he's looking at a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Seth comes set now from the stretch and delivers that curveball, but it misses over the top half, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Good-looking pitch, but just did not get back into the strike zone. Here comes Cook, 3-1, delivers this one. That's right there for strike 2, and that fills the count up. So you look back and you count pitches. Seth has thrown about as many pitches in the second, third, and fourth innings that he did in the first inning. Just gave up the 1 run, but had the 3 walks. He had a snap throw back over to first, but don't believe unless he's leaning you're going to get Lemoyne because he's not taking a very big lead. But I think a little bit of that is just to confuse Bordelon, who is the Vikings batter.
Yeah.
Full count delivery. In there, strike 3 looking. Top half of the strike zone.
Rung him up.
And Bordelon is down on strikes for the first out for Voyles Charter here in the first. Bennett Coco, the catcher, will stand in there. He's had a base hit and reached on a walk.
Got to believe the umpires love those ring them up. I've seen some of them get really animated and put on a show for it, which is pretty fun.
They like the called third strike, do these umpires, and that's their time. You know, it's borderline between a definitive move and we're not trying to show up a batter.
Right.
You see a lot more of it in the travel ball and the summer league umpires. That one is smashed over to Aiden Cook, who's coming on, going to make the play, and he'll have it. Got a shot at getting the guy back at first. We're chasing him back. Throw's not going to be able to get there, but a good job by Aiden Cook to come up and make that one in left field.
Really good job. I believe I caught that one on camera and the throwback.
J.P. Bordelon, the Vikings right fielder, stands in there. He has walked, and he has flown out to Canyon at first base. Curveball inside corner for the strike. So Seth settling down following that base hit to Lemoyne. Just scattered 4 hits in this game. That one ground over to Johnson, who backhand gloves that one. Throws over to Canyon, who makes a good play to pull that one down. 5-3 in the book, but it was nifty on both ends of that one for the third out. After the base hit, nothing doing for the Vikings, but they do strand a runner. That base hit by Carson Lemoyne, and he stays at first. We are through 4.5 and move to the bottom of the 5th. Due up, Cody Davis, Maddox Adelise, and Cooper Courtright when we come back.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Back to work. The Warriors come up in the bottom of the 5th. Got their first hit last inning when Luke Johnson, LJ, had that base hit, but he was stranded there. Only other base runner was Cody Davis. He reached via the base on balls, and he leads things off for the Warriors in the bottom of the 5th. And I'm telling you, Connor Mayu and Seth Cook have put on a pitching exhibition today.
Doug, do you remember the days back when the Warriors would come alive in that 5th inning?
I do remember that. Like last week.
Yes. Well, I was even thinking of last year because
Right.
these last few weeks they've been battling the first couple of innings.
They have, and they've always seemed to get a little bit stronger. But, you know, you take this Avoyelles Charter team that is here. They've won a number of games and are ranked number 3. Whoever wins it, just a quarter of a point separate these two teams in the power rankings. So you can believe if Charter hangs on and wins this one, they very well could flip-flop. But then Grace gets points for the wins
also
of the others. So it's going to be very close in this. And both of these teams battling. That one's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes, battling for one of those top 2 seeds, as you don't want them to finish on the same side of the bracket. That one inside, strike 3 looking. Curveball from Mayu erases Cody Davis, and he's out, and Maddox Adelise will stand in there. Yeah, this is a battle that you don't want to see should things play out in the semifinal. You'd like to see these two teams battle for a state championship. This is going to be a lot of fun. Mayu quickly back to work, misses up high to Adelise, ball 1. Now, there's 8 other teams in Division 5 Select that are going to have something to say about that.
Absolutely.
But if you mention teams that you think can make a run at it and you don't put Avoyelles Charter and Grace Christian in it this year, you don't follow a lot of baseball.
No, you really don't.
Here's the delivery from Mayu, the 2-0. That one misses inside, and 3 straight to Adelise, we got to believe will be taking this 3-0. Cooper Courtright, the designated hitter, on deck, set to come up next, and that is the 3-0 strike down the middle. You hear the chatter going on from the Avoyelles and from Grace, and that one swung on, and now that count is filled up to Adelise. As the throw comes back errant, have to be tracked in by the shortstop for the Vikings. This is one of those that's a classic game in it. Glad that you're watching this one. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Swung on and missed, and a strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mayu. And that gives him 5 on the afternoon. Cooper Courtright will stand in there. He ground out to second base, and Ragusa his last time up.
Oh, yes. I was trying to catch up with you there.
There you go. Here's the delivery now from Mayu. Misses outside, ball 1. You know, we've seen how far Seth can go in a game. We know that he's got the endurance to get there. Looking at Lemoyne, I've got to believe he's got that as well.
His tempo, his pace has picked up since that first inning. He's, like you said, that confidence built.
Indeed, Chuck, it has quickened. That one in there for the strike, 2-1. So went 2-0 to the last couple of batters, and then pumps that third pitch in for a strike. It ended in a strikeout for Adelise. Back-to-back that paint the bottom half of the strike zone. Courtright now 2-2. Courtright bats for Aiden Cook, who plays left field. Here's the 2-2. Curveball stayed back. Courtright did, grounds it out to second base, and that is another 3-up, 3-down inning for Mayu and Avoyelles Charter. Nothing across for the Warriors. 5 complete are in the books. And I don't even know if our first hour, we're an hour 9 into this one, rolling right along. LaCour, Amon, and Mayu due up in the top of the 6th for Avoyelles Charter when we come back.
your burger your style with delicious, hand-pressed, never-frozen AAA Angus beef and tons of fresh, tasty toppings. Fat Burger. Great taste sounds good, doesn't it?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation...
You're on.
Well, you missed a first pitch swing and a delivery over to Luke at third, who handles that one. Luke has been credited for retiring the last 2 consecutive outs, but Wesley LaCour led that one off. Big shout out to Kimberly Harrell. She is the sponsor of our coaches show, and man, Cook is just working quick. That one, a jam shot over to LJ, and he's got 3 straight outs retired. I mean, Seth just gets that ball, gets on the mound, and goes to work. Connor Mayu now will stand in there, and I think if he can get an out right here, that's going to be quicker than the commercial break was. Here's the delivery, and taking that one, not wanting it to be a 3-pitch inning by any means. That was 2 pitches and 2 outs.
Oh,
blows
my.
That one by you, and
Boy,
Seth is
shoulder,
flat cranking it here.
Good gracious. What? He was like he was swatting bees on that one.
Stands in there. That one back. So he's thrown more pitches to Mayu than he did to LaCour and Amon combined.
Yeah.
Seth rocks back. Misses up high with that one, but is just, gets the ball back. Stands in there, looks in, gets a sign, and goes to work. Curveball ground over to Johnson. Plays it, falling down. Adley's going to come up and try to throw. Seeing if they could catch Mayu off the base, but that's an infield single for Connor Mayu. And now B.B. Ragusa will stand in there. Ragusa's 0 for 2 on the day, but has played a solid second base for Charter.
He almost got him. He staggered a little bit on the backside, but he kept that foot on the bag.
Well, as quickly Seth is working, you do not want to see him flip this thing to the top of the lineup.
Yeah, go ahead.
With runners with runners at base. Good piece of hitting by Connor Mayu, who just stood in there and stayed back on that curveball that Seth threw him. Ragusa calls timeout and steps out, gathers his thoughts just a bit. But it seemed like it gobbled LJ up over at third base. Still going to call the base hit, though, as it was a smash to third.
LJ looked like he slipped down a little bit.
Curveball held on to too long and off and going, but Davis has a good shot of him, chunks this one into the outfield, and Courtright is there to pick that one up. No errors charged as the stolen base was there, but it's one ball, one strike. Count 2 down. You see that on our Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard, and Coach Brown going out to look like have a conversation. No, Davis and Cook will talk things over just a bit. You've got the runner at second base is Connor Mayu.
Yeah.
You got to believe if you're the coaching staff for Charter, you're saying stay on the base.
You got the umpire up there brushing off the rubber, too. I think he's just – that's that little delay move that they do for some reason.
Oh, as quick as those first 2 batters were retired, now you got a runner in scoring position. Swung through that one and missed, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Cook with an opportunity to get out of this one with just the 1 base hit. Scattered 4 hits on the afternoon. That one bounces around and is going to get to the backstop. And now all of a sudden, that one gets past Cody. Didn't know where it was, and he looks Looked a little disoriented there on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No room for a pass ball this time.
Right here in the outfield right in front of us, Doug.
That's right. And that one ground over to LJ. He's got it on the high hop. Throw over to first. Canyon stretches and gets that one and retires the side. So LJ credited for all 3 outs in that inning. Ties a record held by a whole lot of people. Connor Mayu, the only base hit. As we said, Seth has scattered 4 hits, allowed just the 1 run. That was to Tanner Dupuy, and he'll lead things off when we come back. But due up for the Warriors in the bottom of the 6th, Braden Wells, Jack Powell, and Carson Courtright when we come back.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Back to the burn we go. Bottom of the 6th. Warriors down to 6 outs. Need to get something going. They'll see 8, 9, and 1 here in this one. But it has been the Connor Mayu show, equaling, he and Seth Cook equaling each other, just dueling on the mound. That 1 run by the very first batter in this game stands to be the difference. There's a lot of goose eggs, and we'll show you that here in a bit. Mayu rocks back and fires. And so much for tiring. It looks like on the radar that one was as fast as the very first pitch he threw. Curveball changes speeds, and he's got Wells confused in this at-bat. And he is working with that same quick pace that Cook had, and that's causing this game just to fly. That one misses away, Chuck, and that's that outside setup that you talked about.
Yeah, and I can only believe that since they do that so often, they have had a lot of success with that. They're just not getting the call on it tonight.
Well, a lot of it you're trying to get a batter to chase something out of the zone. Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Try to scratch something across and get on base if you're Wells. You were down 0-2 to start, now evened it back to 2-2. That one misses down low and fills it up. You wonder what Mayu has left in the tank. Again, a lot of pitchers at this high school level aren't able to go. That one misses up high. So after going down 0-2, Wells takes 4 straight, and he gets on base out in front of Jack Powell. And if I had 2 cars and a house to bet on it, I got to believe that Jack Powell's going to be up there bunting.
2 cars and a house. We
look like we're
Monopoly.
Look like we're going to make a change. If they're making a change, they may be pulling the DH out and putting 7. We'll try to get word of who's up there. We'll have to see if we can get Coach Brown having an extended conversation with the young man up there, and as they work things out and said, hey, see if you can get it.
Well, there you go.
There's a pinch hitter indeed for the Warriors, and I got to believe you probably bring up your best bunter in this case. So Zach stands in there ready to go to work. And bats from the left side as well. Zach Craig will stand in there ready to go to work. And again, still 2 cars in the house saying that Craig's going to lay this bunt down.
Harry scrams it up.
And that one misses low. Boy, if you are Charter, you take the sacrifice as best you can. Don't try to get too fancy with it, but you'll take 3 more out of the zone if you're Zach Craig and this Warrior team. Craig in there to bunt and get Wells over to second. Squares around. Takes that one down low, and that is 6 straight out of the zone for Connor Mayu. And that will get Avoyelles Charter out into the mound. Good piece of work by Zach Craig on these first 2, because oftentimes, Chuck, you'll see somebody come in there, and as good of a bunter as he is, the eye that Zach has displayed to lay off of those first 2 pitches, that's a good adjustment on that. That lightened things up a lot for us. So you're wondering what Mayu, we talked about it in the last inning, what did Mayu have in the tank? Came out and pumped 2 fastballs into Braden Wells and then threw 4 straight out of the zone and has missed on the first 2 pitches to Zach Craig, who is on to pinch hit for Jack Powell. That one is in there, as they often are following a visit to the mound. Warriors have to scratch something across here. You'd like to get it tied back up. Craig pops this bunt up, and it's out of play, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we'll see if Brown has the confidence in him to stay and keep the bunt on. If he bunts this one foul, he's out. See what the young man is able to do here, 2-2. Up there hacking and pushes that one foul and bobbled around, and the catch is made by, looks like, is that Coach Ladner that's over there, or Marlar?
So. Do they both have beards?
Well, it's Marlar because Ladner's over coaching first base.
Oh, that makes sense.
2-2 delivery again, and that one is out to shortstop where the catch is made. So the sacrifice did not happen. Line out to shortstop officially records Zach Craig, and Carson Courtright will stand in there. He and Luke Johnson up next, barring a double play here. You'll see LJ, who is easily one of the better hitters in the state, on deck with a couple of runners on, or at least one. Mayu responded very well after throwing 6 straight out of the zone. Comes back in and commands that at bat. That one in there for the strike, bobbled around, but still a strike. Very impressed by the work of Connor Mayu, who continues to get better and better as this game goes along. He and Seth Cook matching each other batter for batter and inning for inning. That one in there for a strike as well, a big sweeping strike. Nothing in 2 the count. They fixed the scoreboard up here, but the Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard had it correct, setting up outside again. And that one is chased foul. That one kind of drifted back in. I don't think that got as far out as the Viking catcher wanted it to be, and gave Carson a shot at just fouling it off. What a battle between these 2 ball clubs today. Umpire sets it ready for play, and we're back to action again, setting up outside. And that one misses away. Thought they had that one, and Mayu, in fact, hops off of the mound, thought he had it. But I'm going to tell you, when you set up that far off the plate and the ball hits the glove,
yeah, not much.
Odds are they're going to call it a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Warrior leadoff hitter. Sends that high fastball over towards the Viking dugout and sends a couple of coaches and players scurrying. They'll repeat the 1-2. Oh, a good at-bat by Braden Wells to get things going here. Craig comes into pinch hit and unable to get the bunt down for Powell, and now Courtright down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grounds this one up the middle. Backhand throw, though, is made. over to first, safe at first. The double play is not there, and the Vikings thought they had the double play. It's going to be a fielder's choice. What a bang play over there. Looked like a double play had it not been bobbled a little by short. But I tell you, the bobble was simply because he made a tremendous play on it.
He did indeed make it.
Braden Wells is the second out and score that 6-4 on the putout, and Luke Johnson stands in there. And you got to believe that you pitch him away here if you're Charter. You don't want to put one into his wheelhouse by any means.
Be a good one to see LJ do what he has been doing for the last few games right here.
Mayu delivers, and that one is ground easily up to second base. Little flip there, and that does it. So a ground out 4-6 for the putout. That's the third out of the inning. It retires Carson Courtright. So officially, you'll score that fielder's choice for Luke, but 4-6 on the putout, and the Warriors will be up to their final 3 outs. But we go to the top of the 7th. Due up, it is 1-2-3 for the Vikings. Dupuis, who has scored the game's only one, Lemoyne and Bordelon when we come back.
There was a huge assembly, and then he came to the gym, and he announced it.
I would like to honor a Warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes!
I got there, and then we went to Santa Monica Pier, and the water felt good, and I found a bunch of cool rocks. And then we went to The Voice the next day. I got to meet Adam Levine after the show, which was amazing.
I'm Bob Giles, and I believe every business should give back. Join me at gilesgivesback.com.
And we are back, watching that cool little logo spin around. 1 run for Charter in the top of the first. Goose eggs the rest of the way for both squads. And Cook faces Dupuis here again, top 7. And that one is in there for strike 1. Boy, these bugs out here tonight, Chuck, or something else. You would think with this wind and this cool weather they wouldn't be this bad, but they're watching a good game themselves. That one misses outside, taken for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dupuis, the leadoff hitter, has reached base twice. He is 1 for 3 on the afternoon, stolen base, and that big run scored back in the first. Scores on a pass ball, but more than likely would have scored on the bases loaded walk. And now 3 straight out of the zone by Cook. And it's 3-1 to Dupuis, and you don't want to let the speedy leadoff hitter get on. That's just what has happened. That's a bases empty walk to lead things off. Carson Lemoyne, who has a couple of base hits on the day, clearly has led the way. And Coach Brown's going to go out and not sure what. No, that's correction. That's the coach from Charter that's over there, and they're just talking about. You don't think that you'd have a runner for Dupuis by any means. So it may be a pinch hitter that's up there. We'll have to get his, but I don't think you'd pinch hit for the designated hitter Lemoyne either. Dupuis gets off a base, gets off first a little bit more. Expect him to take off early in the count. Cook has something to say about that, and the snap throw gets him going back to first. Very close, but safe.
And Cook fell down off the mound there.
He pumped up a little bit extra on that throw, and it looked like they had Dupuis. And if you can catch him when he steps off, he doesn't cross. He hops off the base a little bit. So if you could catch him coming off the base in mid-hop, think you could have him. See a good look at Cook, Lemoyne, and Davis. Looking to bunt now. A snap throw back down to Canyon. Not in time. Boy, they are committed to getting after Dupuis. As why wouldn't you?
He's a threat, yes.
Yeah. Cook stands, throws the strike through the ball through there, so 2-0. And this is what we talked about when Craig was up there trying to bunt. If you're going to give the sacrifice, especially to somebody like Lemoyne, who's got a couple of knocks on the day.
If Cook would get that throw back just a little bit lower in that sweeping mode instead of up around Kenyon's head, I think he would catch him.
3 straight balls out of the zone from Cook, and dangerously close to walking back-to-back hitters to lead off the 7th, and you can ill afford to give any more cushion, and that is a 4-pitch walk. Top 2 have reached, and you face Mason Bordelon, who has walked and struck out and flown out to Wells in right field. More than likely we'll see this defense play Bordelon straight away, and in fact they are. They're keeping an eye on Dupuis at second. You'll have to see Adelaide flash in a little bit because Powell is way off the base. Now Powell comes back in. And, man, this thing is cat and mouse and cat and mouse, and Dupuis has really, really shown why he is the leadoff hitter for this this Vikings team. Timeout is called by Bordelon. Steps back and measures himself up. Again, Mason, Bordelon, and Coco due up next. Have all have had a couple of hits on the day. There you're looking in. Throwing around the bat and not allowing the bunt, but up there for ball 1. Cook's got to settle into this. Comes set, looks back, now delivers. That bunt is up high. Kenyon comes in and gloves that one out of the air. And that's just a big-time play by the sophomore first baseman for the Warriors, Kenyon Wright. There you see Kenyon, and fields that position as well as anybody does. And that'll bring Bennett Coco up again, reached on a walk, had a base hit, and flew out to Aiden Cook in left back in the 5th. Got to believe that they may still have the bunt on. No, they're letting their cleanup hitter stand in there, and he just turns in from a fastball that was near that upper front shoulder.
Yes, that was close.
Runners at first and second. Cook comes set, looks back, always checking Dupuis, and throws a mighty curveball in there to Coco for strike 1 to even the count up at a ball and a strike. And my goodness, what a ball game this has been.
That was a beautiful pitch.
Curveball bounces around, and nobody goes. And
Cody did a good fake like he had the ball, but it was laying on the dirt right there in front of him. Or turf.
Turf, that's right. That's that dirt turf, that dirt-looking turf area. Well, this is a classic example of pitching around something. That one lifted foul and out of play. Evens the count back at 2 balls and 2 strikes. ESPN would have called this an instant classic, and we're glad it's going to be here. We'll get a lot of views on this after the game's over. Curveball ground over to LJ. He's going to step on third to retire the side. Throws over to first. Don't know that I would have done that one, but it is over to Kenyon, and you retire the speedy Dupuis, and that's as big an out as you'll get. And now all they do is switch places a little bit. J.P. Bordelon, the right fielder, who's reached on a walk, flew out to Kenyon and then grounded out to LJ. Just working around this. I mean, got the first 2 runners on and a popped out bunt and a ground ball to LJ to erase the lead runner.
Total different dynamic on the bases, though, now for the Vikings.
Curveball misses inside, and got to be careful that curveball hanging or hitting a batter.
He'll just settle down.
Oh, Chuck, you nailed it.
You know?
You absolutely nailed it. You get Dupuy off the bases, and that really makes a different approach when you're a defense. That one ground over to LJ, bounces off his head. That's going to score a run. That one gobbled up LJ again, and that's the second run of the game as Lemoyne comes around to score. You don't often talk about an insurance run being just the second run of the game, but, man, that 2 runs now is a big lead when you're looking at Mayu coming out again. RBI base hit for Bennett Coco.
Yeah, the run was definitely on.
That was J.P. Bordelon that had the RBI as he was on, so that's a base hit. And now Wesley LaCour, the left fielder, will stand in, ready to go to work. Single and an RBI for Bordelon, and LaCour stands in, ready to go. That one ground over to Powell at second, and he lets it get by him. Runners coming around. No, they'll hold him, and the bases are loaded. Comes up on the ball, ready to throw, did Powell, and the ball was not there with him. Score that an error, and that loads the bases up for Jackson Amon. Lined out to LJ, has ground out to LJ and struck out looking. And now Coach Brown will come in there and just, you see, got to believe that.
Just wonder if he's going to go ahead and go to Canyon here.
No, I got to believe he's rode this far with Cook. He's gonna stay there. You're 6 2/3 into this one, and would have been out of it. I think he's talking a little more to the defense because the ball ate up a couple of them the last time and said, "Look, stay behind. He's throwing ground balls. Stay down on the ball. Touch any base that you want." Is probably now when we chop this up tonight and add our music to it or what we say that's going on, it might be a little bit different. I don't think it'll be the Who's on First, but we'll figure something up to have a little bit of fun with in this one. And goodness, 2-0. You see, Vikings have the lead. They scored a run in the first and a run here in the top of the 7th. And looking to do more damage with a timely 2-out hit. J.P. Bordelon, the hero of this inning, had the RBI base hit. Swung through that one and missed, did Amon. Cook not coming out of this game. He just firing away. That's ground to Powell again. Got it over to first in time to retire the side, but not before the Vikings pick up 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 7th, final attempt for the Warriors, and they'll send some of their best up. Canyon Wright, Seth Cook, and Cody Davis due up for the Warriors. Got to get some runs here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back right after this. Set up for the bottom of the 7th. Canyon right set to lead things off. Momentarily lapsed there and got away. But we are back here for the bottom of the 7th. Connor Mayu has went the distance in this one. And he pumps that fastball in there beside Canyon. Mayu now not working as quickly, but still very hastily. That one is called a strike. 0-2 to Canyon. And just a big difference. One pitch, a fastball and a strike, and the curveball comes in the next one. You just don't know what's coming. You got to be sitting back ready for just about anything if you're Canyon. Normally this is where Mayu and the Vikings have worked outside, and they do is here again. Swung on and missed, and Canyon down on strikes. Second time today, first out of the 7th, and Seth Cook now stands in there. 2-0. Vikings lead this one. You see it on the Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. Very quickly moving game. Very quick moving game. That one misses ball 1. You just got to get somebody on base if you're the Warriors. Quickly, 2 balls, no strikes to Cook. That one in there for the strike. Cook, Davis, and Adelise set to bat following Canyon down on strikes. That one up high to the Warrior pitcher. And rocking back now is Connor Mayu, has just been splendid on the day. Full count as Seth thought about throwing the bat away and heading down to first, but instead it is a full count. 1 down, bottom of the 7th. Mayu rocks back and fires. Swung on and missed, back-to-back strikeouts. And any question that we had about Connor Mayu not having enough in the tank to get through this, that is squashed and squashed mightily. Connor Mayu has been impressive for Vols Charter on this afternoon.
He has indeed. He's had his tempo at different levels.
That one misses up high.
And had a little pause in some of his throwing strikes, but he's recovered well and right back at it.
7 strikeouts on the afternoon for Mayu.
He steps off there.
He threw 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the 5th, and now 2 here in the 7th. Swung on and missed from Cody, a ball and a strike. These 2 pitchers will not be able to go on Thursday, but look for them to meet up later on in the season. You can just about imagine that. Misses low, 2 balls and a strike. Two ball, 1 strike count to Cody Davis. And now things are full. See the defense getting a little, 2 balls, 2 strikes, even back up. You can see the defense getting a little pep. Cody Davis, the junior backstop for the Warriors, is going to stand in there. He'll get down in that crouch. Had a grand slam a few games ago. Would take just a base hit here. Mayu delivers a 2-2, misses up high and fills the count. I was just a pitch ahead, Chuck, that's all.
That's all right. He had that one to waste anyway.
Again, big shout out to Valex Federal Credit Union. If you're looking for someone to help with your banking needs, valexfcu.org. Swung on and missed, and that's going to do it. 2-0. And, wow, my goodness, 3 straight strikeouts. Give him 8 on the night. And Vols Charter is fired up in this one, and they're giving Connor Mayu some love as he just, my goodness, just went after it. Very impressive performance by Seth Cook and Connor Mayu on the hill tonight for Grace and Charter respectively. 2-0 this one ends. And again, Vols Charter takes a big head start in the lead in district here. They will take over the lead in District 5B. The Warriors pick up their first district loss of the season. Charter remains undefeated in this one. But, Chuck, just a jewel of a game tonight.
Yeah, it's been I like this game. I don't necessarily like the result, especially for our Warriors faithful, but I did like the tempo of this game, a lot quicker paced game, because those last few we've done, those first couple of innings kind of just drug on. We're like, one of them, I believe, was an hour first inning, I believe it was.
It was. This game was an hour 42 is all that it was.
That's
from start to finish. And, you look back on it, and the Warriors had – trying to find out how many had. So Luke had the one base hit back in the second, and that was it. One base hit for the Warriors tonight, and it was Luke Johnson that got that one. Yeah, Luke. We'll talk to Coach Brown here in just a minute. We'll let him talk to his guys, and we'll visit with him. And you like the availability, win or lose, you come out and you visit, and you got to believe that he's going to want to clean up a couple of the errors on the bases that did it. But all in all, it was a very well-played game. The Warriors, though, they're strikeout victims 8 times on the night and a double play in there. So just about as good defensively as Charter could play it, they did. So you don't go and you take anything away. It's just 2 good ball clubs that were battling. And a game like this helps Grace in the power rankings, but winning that game certainly helps Charter with what they're doing. And I was so impressed by the play of Tanner Dupuis, Carson Lemoyne with a couple of base hits, but Connor Mayu 1 for 3 on the night. So had a base hit and a stolen base, but his 8 strikeout shutout performance, one hitter of the Warriors tonight. A team that we've seen put runs up in bunches. Chuck unable to get one across, and
struggled with it tonight, and changing weather, changing temperature, not really wanting to blame any of that, but there's so many possibilities of things that could be, but not to take anything away from Avoyelles Public Charter.
Charter
Charter
just came in and showed that there's a reason that they're up at the top of the rankings, and that these 2 teams are right where they need to be. And look, if before the game you wouldn't have mentioned either 2 of these teams in the state championship run talk, you better be doing it now, because both of these teams in Division 5 are going to make a run for it, and that's why, Chuck, you'd hate to see them at a 2-3 or a 1-4. You don't want them on the same side of the bracket when it comes into that. You'd like to see them with an opportunity to battle for a state championship no matter what happens in the regular season. But again, there's 8 other teams that are going to have something to say about that.
Well, like you said, too, with the power rankings, there's only a quarter of a point difference between the 2. Will they jump them? I don't know, but like I said, they both benefit from the win. So will that make the difference?
Yeah, because the Warriors will get a lot of points off of this one as well. But I do believe it's close enough. It's enough for Charter with all of the wins that they'll get from Grace Christian, that I do expect that they'll leapfrog and get into that spot, and they'll all be chasing family community, family Christian, I guess that was in number 1. We'll go back and look at that momentarily.
Speaking of family, thank you for joining us, and all those folks that watch from Avoyelles Parish. And be sure that if you watched on YouTube, go back and watch it if you watched it on Facebook, go back and watch it on YouTube. You can actually set your YouTube settings to 1080p is what we broadcasted at. Facebook, at best, you'll get 720, and it's going to look kind of fuzzy looking, or
little fuzzy.
Yeah, little not in focus, basically. So YouTube is a much better, and when you get there, go ahead and give us a like and a share. We appreciate that. You can really help us out by doing that.
Family Community sits atop the Division 5 rankings at 8-5 on the season with a 28.9 power ranking. Grace Christian 16-5. Avoyelles Public Charter now goes to 14-3, and again 0.3 differential in there. Got to believe, but none of that matters. The only thing that matters is what happens on Thursday night over at Avoyelles Charter. That's the only thing that's going to to matter in this one. We expected it to be this kind of week, and it was. This type of game. Warriors have lost 2 straight now, going back to that game on Saturday, and we'll look to get things righted again. Connor Mayu, impressive on this. Tanner Dupuy, the pitching of Seth Cook. The defense, just I don't believe it was as solid as it had been in the past. But that first inning, really, the one run that Avoyelles Charter picked up was enough to do it. Chuck, don't know that we'll get Coach Brown tonight. He's going to visit with these guys after a loss like that. We'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, if he's not made his way over here, we'll wrap it up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and see if we get Coach Brown on the Warrior Wrap-Up show right after this.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
And we are back for the Warrior Wrap-Up show, visiting with head coach Josh Brown. And, Coach, this is exactly the type of game that we thought we would see tonight with you guys in Charter.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, two good guys on the mound, good pitch ball game. You know, besides the first inning, I thought Cook settled down and threw the ball well. But they're a good ball club, and I tell everybody. I mean, they've been playing at the 2A level, and then you drop down to Division 5, you know, and they probably got over 200-something kids in the school, you know, battling against here we are, 105, 110 kids. But we knew coming in it was going to be a dogfight.
And it was, and you guys went toe for toe, with them. It was one of those. Connor Mayu, just impressive. He was the kid on the hill for Charter. 8 strikeouts on a night, threw the ball well. LJ, now you go back to the second inning or the first inning when he had that line smash. If that ball's a few inches either side of the third baseman, but that's the kind of things that happen in games like this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought LJ was seeing him well, and Carson was too. Carson thought, he said, Coach, I don't understand why we're struggling. He said, the kid from Northwood and the guy from Natchitoches Central had more movement than this guy. He said, I think the guys are thinking little mind games, like what's coming. He's like, because, Coach, I'm telling you, it's flat. The fastball's flat. The curveball was good, had some bite to it. I was a little disappointed that we didn't swing the bat and put some runs up, honestly. When you get 2 runs per Cook, we're thinking we got a chance to win this game every night.
You know, that's what we had thought about, that you would have that. You look through it, and it was just a little bit scattered on there. Had some good counts, got to him. I mean, we wondered what Mayu was going to do. He got stronger as he went along. But I'm going to tell you, I'll go back to Seth Cook. Seth, after that first inning, really settled down. Looked like, Luke at third, we're not crediting those errors because those balls ate him up. I mean, they came hard over to third base, and you don't see that kind of pressure put on your defense. You guys only gave up 2 runs.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the defense played well for the most part. There was 3 plays defensively we thought that should have been made. One was just a routine. You let the ball get below your shoulders. That's got to be an out. And then there was another play and I'm not going to lie, we've been struggling a little bit at second base. We've been preaching with our guys, lay out. It's the top of the 7th. You got to lay out, be a dirtbag there. I thought we could have kept that ball in the infield there in the 7th to allow the bases to get loaded. But, I mean, overall, I'm pleased with the defense for the most part. We got to be better at the plate. And we gave some guys the option to play a little small ball. And I don't know. We just didn't do a good job of it, and we got to go to work tomorrow. We got one day to get ready for them at their place.
You made the move that brought Zach Craig in to bunt on there and wasn't able to get it down on there, too. And you see what you went to trying to go to the small ball there. But it's executing those things that you got to do.
Oh, you have to. And he's a 7th grader. We got Michael Palmer's out tonight.
Right.
Strep throat. That's a starter that's hitting over 275 right now for us. That was a huge blow. We were going to go to Brady McDaniel if we were going to swing the bat, but we knew if we had to bunt, get in a situation, we were going to go Zach. Just didn't work out, but that's something that'll pay off in the long run for Zach down the road, being a 7th grader.
1,000%, and it's a game that just sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. They work for the other team, and that's baseball. And the good thing about baseball, you turn around and you go to their place, and you won't see Connor Mayu. Now, they won't see Seth Cook either,
Correct.
But that's the beauty of these Tuesday, Thursday home and homes.
Absolutely, and we got 2 guys. They're throwing 3 guys that are throwing the ball well on the bump. So, I mean, we'll be ready to go. We just got to put some runs up on the board.
Well, there you go, Coach. Thank you for being available for us. Win, lose, or draw. Good luck, and we'll go get them Thursday.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, head coach Josh Brown finishing things up again. We appreciate him taking the time with us here. Chuck, that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. We'll see. You'll see them back here Friday night. It'll be April before I make it back. So, yeah, how about that? And I'll have no more unmarried sons by then. How about that? It is officially this week. It is Saturday night. Noah and Abby tying the knot, and we're excited. So that's where I'll be off to until you see us again in the following week.
And you're saying all the single ladies basically going to have to shed a tear after this
they're
weekend.
out. Yep, no more Gamboys on the market, so that's a tough one for all of Central Louisiana. It's going to wrap it up tonight. Warriors lose a tough one tonight, 2-0, but it was an Avoyelles Charter team that did what they needed to do. Small ball won it for them. They manufactured that run. For Chuck Perkins, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.
Jeez. I ended that stream.